Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening live to Can We Talk by Master Relationship Coach Myra McKnight.
Hello, and happy Friday, everybody. This is Myra McKnight, your empowerment specialist, relationship coach, everything and anything you want me to be. I am here on this Friday, and I want to thank you for allowing me to come into your space. It's a crazy day, crazy week. It's been raining a lot, but you know what? We made it through to Friday, and that is a blessing. I got a word for you today, and the word today is excitement. Excitement. What are you excited about? What do you do every day to make you glad to be here, to make you happy, to be a part of life and a part of living? What are you doing to make those things happen in your life? Well, my next guest, or the guest for today, is going to be coming in, and she is full of fire. She's so exciting. She likes life. She loves making things happen. And when I talked to her, I actually thought she was someone else. But what happened was, as I got to feel her energy, her excitement, the things she wants to be involved in life, how she wants to bring life to other people, she just, that magnetic field of hers just kept going and going and going and going and going. And I was just excited to even be around her because she's a happy person. And have you ever been around people who were just excited just to be excited? They're excited just to be around, just to be in the breathing space of earth. You know, those things carry a lot of weight in our relationships. And so exciting people are good people to be around. I don't get to be around too many exciting people. I choose the people that I like to be around, people with a lot of drama, people with that gossip a lot, people that are in different spaces. They can truly bring you down. And today, I think that, I know I'm starting a little bit early. It kind of got me caught off guard a little bit. But today, I think that I was thinking today, and I'm just very grateful just to be able to do what I do, be able to have the platform, be able to conversate with you, our Source Nation family, to have you here, and to also allow me to be in your space today. There's been a lot of things that have happened, a lot of things have gone on, and I'm moving and I'm shaking and I'm twisting and I'm turning and I'm doing a lot of other things. But I'm grateful to have the ability and the knowledge to be able to do those things, and I'm grateful to have people in my space that are willing to help me get my vision across with Better One, Better Two Relationship Academy. What we do there is to encourage you to be your best, encourage you to look forward to those great things that God has for you in your life, those wonderful things, those amazing things. And so I enjoy doing that. I do that primarily with women because I think women are shortchanging themselves. I think that women are not holding up to their end of the bargain, and they're giving away their power. And our power is not to be given away. Our power is to do something with it. Our power is to grow, to enhance ourselves, and to enhance the people around you. And that's kind of what I see in this young lady that's going to be my guest today. I just kind of know that she has that power to move in a miraculous way, in a healthy way, in a natural way, and she loves it. And that's the amazing thing about it. When you love what you do, it shows. And I don't think that women in our today, we're progressive women, but we are not doing nowhere near the things that we're capable of doing. A lot of times we spend our days and our nights in a mode of disconnection of God, disconnection of the universe. We spend our days and nights in wondering and wishing and doing. But you have to ask yourself, what is the substance of what you're doing? What's the substance of that? And where is it going? And where is it taking you? Are you just here? Or are you just hanging around? Or are you just waiting on the next boyfriend, waiting on the next husband, waiting on the next man? Are you just, what are you doing? I think that we spend a lot of our time doing what we actually think we should be doing. From a traditional standpoint, we think that just having children and having a man is all with all. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you don't need a man, because you do. You definitely do. But what I'm saying is there's more to life than that. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, and a daughter, a sister, a friend, a businesswoman, but there's still more to me than just that. And what I want to say to the ladies out here, that if you are unhappy, if you are gossipy, if you are mad, if you're angry, if your sister that you see every day just because her hair is a different color, you don't like her, if you have issues with everybody but yourself, then you've lost your power. Because a woman with power is a woman of grace. A woman of power is a woman of stature. A woman of power is a virtuous woman. A woman of power is a teacher. A woman of power is a leader. A woman of power doesn't have time to chastise, think badly about, or be in a dramatic mode all the time. And that's something that you kind of want to think about. Power, where is your power? And do you have your power? If you lost your power, you have to regain your power. And in my workshops that I do monthly with ladies and our conversations, it's very heartbreaking to see so many of us that have lost our power. And you can look around our community and you can tell the women that have lost their power. You can tell the women that are mad and they're angry and they're frustrated and they're some of them are in their 60s and 70s and even some are in their 80s. They've taken on a life that is not of God, that is not of the universal principle of love and life and liberty. And you're only going to garner in what you give out. If you give out discontent, if you give out, snideness, if you give out pettiness, those things you're going to retrieve back in. And there's no benefit in that. That's one thing, actually another thing that I always ask the ladies to think about. Whatever you do, what's the benefit? Ask yourself, what is the benefit? What's the freaking benefit for me? And it's not selfish for you to think about yourself. It's not selfish for you to stop and say, hold up. Am I going to run 10 miles for somebody else, or am I going to run 10 miles for myself? Do I get my hair fixed and adorned because of somebody else, or do I do it for myself? Am I losing weight for somebody else, or am I losing weight for myself? There are some critical questions that we need to ask ourselves as women. And we really got to check ourselves. You got to check your power frequency. Sometimes it gets low. Sometimes we get frustrated. Sometimes we get down. But then your frequency needs to be back up. You need to get to a point to where you are powerful. Matter of fact, to where you utilize the power that is already in you. So what I'm saying is not nothing new. It's not nothing foreign. It's just real. You should go back into history of time, from the beginning of time, and women and their abilities to run nations, their abilities to build buildings, their abilities to, even having children, their abilities to get up and keep working, the abilities to bring their family into a safe space. There are so many things that women have accomplished, and we've overlooked it, and we've been overshadowed by this. We've been overshadowed by, stuff. Be it reality TV. I just think that's the worst thing that has happened to us. It's just crazy, and it dumbs us down. It numbs us to think that what we see on reality TV is how it is. It dumbs us down and makes us think that we are supposed to have somebody else's husband. It dumbs us down and makes us think that we are supposed to walk around with all the humps and the pumps of our bodies and our breasts to be hanging out. It dumbs us down to think we have to get shot up with silicone. It dumbs us down to think that we have to be vulgar in our conversation. It dumbs us down to think that, we can sleep with a man one day and don't care. It's a lot of things that dumb us down. It's a lot of things that take away our power. And believe me when I tell you, I've been doing this for quite a long time, and it doesn't matter your degree. It doesn't matter your position. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor, a lawyer. It doesn't matter. What matters is the character of your heart. The other stuff doesn't matter, because you can be all these wonderful big-name things and people, but if the character of your heart, the character of the woman, is something totally different than how she walks and how you see her, that's not a benefit. Fighting a losing battle. So that was my little monologue for today, but I want you to think about that. I want you to think about excitement. I want you to think about your power. I want to ask you, do you have any? And it's not your money at all, and it's not your job. Do you have that inner power in all the facets and all the doors that you walk in your life? Do you have it? And if you don't have it, you need to ask yourself some questions of what you're doing to get it. So I have my amazing guest that's going to be coming in with me on the other side of the break. And her name is Sonja Robinson, and she is a motivational speaker. She's an event planner. She has the gamut of all things, and I'm excited to have her to be a part of our guest panel today. But before I go to the break, let me do this. We have some amazing sponsors, and without those amazing sponsors, I could not be here talking to you today and being allowed to be in your space. We have Zelina, Health and Wellness and Fitness, Paper to Film Products, Revolution Meals, Renovations, Meet My Types Matchmaking, Blend to Blend Juice Bar Boutique, Urban Grandstand Digital, and New Covenant of Praise Worship Center. Now, just on the other side, I'm going to have my amazing guest, Sonja Robinson, and we're going to have an amazing conversation. We want you to call in. We want you to ask questions, anything, relationships, business, whatever it is, we can help. We can help. Let's help together. That number is going to be 619-924-0933. 619-924-0933. I'll be back at you. This is Myra McKnight with Can We Talk?
Source Nation, stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're listening live to Can We Talk by Master Relationship Coach Myra McKnight.
Source Radio Network is just one of the many platforms that is used to fulfill dreams of our listeners and create a purpose that will impact the lives of our communities, cities, and the world. It is often said that great things will happen when a group of driven people work together to accomplish one goal. We're giving people the opportunity to have a voice, translate words that haven't been heard, and paint pictures that no one has seen. Source Radio Network is fueling your life's purpose. How can you listen? www.blogtalkradio.com/Source Radio.
Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening live to Can We Talk by Master Relationship Coach Myra McKnight.
Hello, my wonderful, wonderful family here. This is Myra McKnight, your relationship expert and motivational speaker. I am here, and as I told you before, I've got an amazing lady who I'm so excited for, and I'm excited to have her energy here in the studio with me. And her name is Sonja Robinson. And Sonja, hello.
Hello, Myra. How are you?
I'm doing well, Miss Sonja. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. I am doing really well. Thank you for having me.
Good. Thank you for accepting my invitation to come on Can We Talk? And this is just exactly what we do. We talk and we have a conversation. And I told the audience a little bit about you, Sonja, but what I would love for you to do for me is to tell the audience about you, because you can do that a lot better than I can.
Oh, wow. What can I say? I am your regular girl, regular lady, just with a passion and a purpose to do God's will. I love people. So I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a nurse by trade, evangelist by calling. There's so many things and talents and skills that God has given me. He's just been so good. And I'm a mother. I mean, there's so many things that I've done, and he's allowed me to experience so many things in my life. And I am a little bit of everything to everybody.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Well, you know what? I think that can kind of go along with all of us. You know that? Because as women, and I was just saying that earlier in the beginning of the show, is that we are so multitasked that we are able to do so many things, and just being a woman, and that's the power of being a woman. And I think a lot of times we kind of take it for granted. It's kind of like, you know, you take your power and you lay it aside, and then you get into the junk stuff instead of keeping the power with you to excel you and motivate you. And I think, you know, in talking to you earlier, those are some of the things that you've done, because you put events on as well.
Absolutely. I'm an event planner. I've been doing events now for a little while. I started in Kansas City, where I moved from 3 years ago to the Atlanta area. So I do have my upcoming event in October, which is What Caught Your Eye on social media. But, yeah, as far as power in women, and I want to get back to the event, of course, but I must say there is power in femininity, and I wish women understood that. And I am unapologetically female. I love everything female, woman. I love my pink. I am definitely a woman, emotional, sensitive, strong, powerful, a shaker and a mover, and I don't apologize for any part of it.
Absolutely. Now, see, you're talking my language now. I mean, I just kind of, that's kind of where I am. I think that we don't talk that enough. And I don't know, you know, now we're a lot progressive than we were before, but we've changed over the years tremendously in how we act, how we walk, how we talk, how we feel, and what we do. Now, but with that saying, in some cases, you know, some of us have gone in the wrong direction with that. But when you don't have your power, you don't have any balance. So you're subject to do things way on the other side that you shouldn't do, or you will get into a point where you think that you know it all, and then you don't, and you fall on that end. So, you know, it's about those things that you just talked about, Sonja, and being proud of that. And, you know, and something you tell me this. As a woman, just who we are, what's your most, what makes you the proudest? And as being a woman, what makes you the proudest? I don't know if we've ever thought about something like that.
I would have to say, honestly, is my ability to embrace being a woman. And what I mean by that is, during the day, there's a lot of strength. You know, I supervise and help run a company. I have 120 employees under me, and I do it well. I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't. Enjoy what I do. I do a good job at it. I'm successful at it. However, when I'm most proud is when I can come home and I can take off the cape and I can be a woman, and I can prepare a meal for my family, and I can be there beside them, you know, whether it's a baseball game or a band concert or, you know, working in the yard or whatever it is, that, you know, around the house. That's what makes me most proud, are those moments with my family, you know, outside of career, outside of events, outside of all those things. They're great, and I love those things. They make me who I am as well. They're parts of me. But being a woman and being able to serve my family is when I'm most proud.
That's amazing, and that's a beautiful thing because that's a part of us. That's something we do with our eyes closed pretty much. We were talking to Sonja Robinson. Sonja Robinson has many trades, and she does them all very well. And she is a woman. And we're just talking about now some of the things that you're proud of being a woman. What makes you proud in being that woman? Because that's something, a question that we all should ask ourselves. And I want to get some ladies to give us a call and tell us why are they proud of being a woman. What is it about you that make you just say, man, you know what? I am glad I'm in this body right here. I wouldn't take the other side for nothing in the world. Although we are complicated, ladies, we know that. We got that, and we have to own up to our complications. Sometimes we just don't get it right. Sometimes we don't say it right. But at the end of the day, you know, you got to be proud of the body that you're in. This is where you live at right now. So give us a call, ladies, at 619-924-0933, 619-924-0933, and tell us why you feel proud. What makes you proud of being a woman? What makes you proud? So, Sonja, tell us a little bit about, you have, and this is what caught me, like you said, my eye on social media, about your event that's coming up. Let's talk about that. And where did your title come from?
Absolutely. I'm super excited. My first event, my event debut here in Atlanta. Woo, woo.
All right.
The date is October 21st. It's called Give Me Life. And it's an annual conference brunch. And I said annual because I see this vision happening every year. So the Give Me Life, basically where that came from. And one thing about the things that I do, the events, whether I'm ministering, whether it's business-minded, if I put an event together, usually God is giving me something for me. He's ministering to me first. And so Give Me Life just basically says a lot of times we are merely existing. We're getting up, we're putting on our clothes, our heels, headed out to the workplace. We're 9 to 5 grinding, coming home. We're with the kids. We're always in robot mode. We're always in this mode of go, 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 go. But are we really living? And that's where this came from. Give me life. There's so many people out there that go through the same thing day in, day out. They go to conferences, they get the pretty bag and, get a little bit of a cucumber sandwich or whatever you may have, but they go home and their lights are still off. They go home and they still don't know about credit. They go home and they still don't understand why life insurance is important. So this conference was put together, the vision that God gave me was to give people resources, give them people that were going to play a part in the program, and they're going to impart wisdom, they're going to impart nuggets, they're going to give them resources to leave the conference with, so they leave with something tangible and not just a good word or a little ear tickle. That we had enough ear tickling. It's time to live.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm glad, and, that's amazing, because I think that it comes a point to where we have to stop running here and running there just to do it, just to run there. I don't know. I've never been a conference hopper or anything like that. I just didn't do that. Even when even in the church, I just didn't go to everything that somebody said I should go to, because I was needing so much more. I wasn't needing a general hookup. I was needing my own. You know what I'm saying? I was needing to get in a corner somewhere and be able to talk to myself and get what I needed to get, because I cannot. And when I did go to those things, Sonja, what I found out was I got tired of the middleman. I wanted to go straight to God. I was like, look, you know what? I don't need to go through another nothing. I need to just connect with you wherever that is. If you want me to stand by this tree, Lord, and wait on you, then I'll do that. I just needed to go into that my own way, because what I found was every place I went, it was pretty, like you said, it was redundant. And there's nothing wrong with the conferences. I'm not saying that. But I was very happy to hear those things that you're bringing some credible things to the conferences that can help, not just the same thing. You know, we know how to preach and we know how to twist and we know how to shout and we know how to pray. But, you know, we need credit. You need good credit to get into a decent place and get a car. You need your finances taken care of. You know, you need to get your child in a better school, and you need to know how to get them in one. So those are things that I think, because women have so much to do, those are things that we can't just go to conferences for one thing anymore. You know?
That's right. We need practicality, and part that's missing. Sometimes we're so spiritual that we miss the mark, and people are tired. I know for myself, you know, I've been to different conferences and different meetings, and they're great. Right. They have a good time, but I've been in that place where I get in the car and I don't feel any different from when I left. That when I get home, I'm still hungry. There's still no groceries in the house. So I just spent my last $50 to go to the conference, and I could have bought groceries with that. So you know, it's just the reality. The ticket prices for this actual event are only $15 until the 1st of August, and then they'll go up to $20. So they're very reasonable. The vendors that I have. So far, I have a few vendors that have already confirmed, and they're bringing things. Trinita Williams, for example, she is the co-founder of Professional Women Entrepreneurs, and she's actually going to grace my event with her business, Divine Connections. She's bringing oils and healing crystals and holistic health, and I've got Brandy Speed, who's bringing her health and wellness. I've got Sylvia Blue bringing credit repair and how to get things on track and budget planning and different things of that nature. And then I have Ashley Brown, who Ash Says, who's an amazing blogger here in Atlanta and does voiceovers and just inspirational, motivational in her own right. So I'm just super excited. And then the lineup, if I may, can I share who's going to be on the program?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So I have Frank, which is his name goes by Frankly Speaking, actually. He is a renowned poet here in Atlanta. He has produced a TV show called Between Poets, written a book. He's an author. He's going to be doing spoken word, performing real life there at the conference. I have Toshiba McCree, who many of you know as Mother Moses. If you have not seen her or heard of her, she's amazing. She's actually going to bring a dramatic monologue. And she says something about coming out of a box and lights and spotlights and red lights. And she's got something planned exciting. She's going to be on program. From L.A., I have an artist I've been friends with for over 20 years who just recently was diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis. And she is living life through her artwork. And MS has stolen her ability to even paint anymore. But she's bringing her artwork, and she's going to be giving us visual life through her art, what she has. And she is now a campaign for MS research. And, I mean, I just have some amazing people. My keynote speaker, Elisa Henley from Kansas City, Missouri. She's bringing her material, her book. She's going to be speaking as a keynote speaker. And Bernard Buford, all the way from Valdosta, Georgia, he's going to come and be an inspirational speaker. He's well known on Facebook. Of a mature man, thoughts of a real man. So he's going to be there. When I tell you, this lineup is ridiculous, and it's nothing but God. Nothing but God. People have reached out and said they'll do it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And that's amazing. And, you know, I would love to let's get some of those names. I'd love to put them on the show to talk about some of the things that they're doing and how they are just touching lives all over the world, bringing this together. So, I mean, that's just an amazing lineup, just hearing some of the things that they're bringing to the table. So when they come to that conference that you're putting on, they are going to walk away with something.
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. They're going to walk away. And I mean, it's basically free. Really, to tell you the truth about it, it's basically free because these people are, from what you're telling me, these people are giving something. They're giving this away. These are gifts from God that they're actually are giving away, basically free, to help somebody. And, and I think that's more important than anything. If I could do a lot of stuff free, I would love to do it more free than to charge people. Sometimes you do, but you got a very a nominal fee, which is what, dinner, for two, pretty much, for that amount.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And where did the title come from, Sonja?
The Give Me Life conference just came from me praying one day for, I needed a title, and I knew what I wanted. I knew the vision that God gave. I knew what it wanted to look like. And I knew that I wanted to bring people together for the resource piece of things, to be able to take something with them and give them something. So I was like, the light bulb kind of went off. Give me life. Give me life. Give me something that don't just give me a good song. Don't give me a good shout and a cry. Give me life. That just stuff. And I said, you know what? That will carry itself. That ministers on all by itself. And I know that God did that because this is going to be, like I said, an annual event.
Yeah, because that's what kind of stuck out for me. Give me life. When I saw that just kind of that right there just kind of came to me, and I'm looking at that. Give me life, and when you say life, that's just an abundance. That's just living. That's just substance. And I'm like, well, let me see what more is to this, and because I wanted to know who's doing this, who's doing something different about life, about energy, about growing, about enhancing, more so than just the traditional things that we do, because we have to be careful of the places that we go. I think, this is my only personal opinion, as far as conference things, because you don't want it to get to the point where it's just like the club. You go in, you have a good time, and you go out, and that's it. You go in, you hear to the music, and you have a message, and then that's it.
You go home like, now what?
Now what? What did you have? What empowered me? What happened to where I can change something? You won't be able to change everything, but what happened to where I could change something tomorrow? Something.
And I wanted to add, and I neglected to share this, part of the proceeds from the event will go to honor a community organization, 501c3, that is giving life in their own way in the community. So there's an organization that God put on my heart, and their acronym actually is LIFE, Ladies in Full Effect. Tiffany DeWalt and Angie Morris, they're the co-founders of that group. And so at the end of the program, part of those proceeds that don't pay for the venue, that after the brunch is taken care of, that money will go to them to take into the community to further their motive and what they've got going on in the community, their agenda. So this is really, I'm telling you, it's just an amazing thing. Just an amazing thing. Those ladies are doing some big things in the community.
That's, and obviously, Sonja, that says a lot about you, to be able to have folks come from all over the country, in different parts of the country, to come in and to go hand in hand with you, to bring something to the table for people. And let me ask you, who should come? Who should come to this event, Sonja?
Everyone. I wanted to make sure that everyone understood this event is not just for women. I don't want that to be mistaken. It is for men, women, and children. It's, they're on Eventbrite. If you go get your ticket, if you're not going to come, there's a button there where you can donate to help someone who can't afford to come. I want this event to be all-inclusive of everybody. This is not a frou-frou event. This is not I don't have the right suit in the closet. I can't come. I need to get my hair and nails done. If I can't make it. This is not that event. I don't want people to feel like they have to be someone that they're not, or they have to go out and spend a bunch of money to come. That is not what this is about. This is about people coming together. The fee itself is just going to take care of your brunch and your conference materials and the people that are there, and really to be a blessing to Life organization. So everybody, please, if you can, come. There's no harm, no foul, no special need, no. If you feel like you want life and you want to get some tips and some tidbits and some wisdom and some education for $20, $15, August 1st, this is where you need to be.
Right. Okay, that's amazing. I have a question. A lady is asking a question of you in your motivational speaking. Do you speak on? She's asking, do you speak on relationships, Sonja?
I chuckle. I'm so sorry. I'm no expert on relationships. Let's be very clear. I have enough wisdom, though, and things I've experienced. I was married twice, and currently am not married. I've been through some things. So my motivational skill, along with my wisdom, along with my, my experience, absolutely, I will speak on relationships. Absolutely.
Okay. And she has a second question, because you do speak on relationships. What advice, and she says she's been married twice as well, what advice would you give a woman who has been married twice and is looking for a relationship?
Wow. That's a good question. First of all, and it sounds cliche, take note of who you are outside of relationships. What I had to do, and I can be very transparent, it was hard for me to be alone. I married my first marriage, I was very young. And it didn't last long. Had a beautiful child out of that union. I thank God for the lesson. Second marriage, I was married 14 years, with him for 16. Two beautiful children from that union. When that marriage ended, I said, you know what, I need some time alone. And although I didn't like it, I had to get used to that quiet so I could hear God speak to me and deal with me first. That way I could recognize a healthy relationship when it came. Because I found myself in relationship dealing with people that were unhealthy.
Right.
So take time for yourself and just allow God, allow that quiet to find out who you are, your likes, your dislikes, and love on you, and know that whatever caused that marriage to fail, you're not the failure. The relationship failed. And understand that.
Okay. All right. That was a good answer. And I kind of want to chime off of that, and I'm probably a little bit more old school than Sonja, but I just would say to you, young lady, what's your why? Why? Why is that a focal point in your life? And then the next question I would ask is, what's the benefit? Because there's so many things for you to be doing besides, after 2 marriages, looking for a man. Not to say you don't need one. We know that, okay? We got our reasons for that. But at the end of the day, I mean, don't you have a degree that you want to get? Don't you have a place in God's beautiful world that you want to visit? Do you have an invention in your body, in your soul, in your spirit? Is there a company you want to start? Is there a nonprofit, or are there? I mean, what is it? So many things that you can do, and I do believe that if you're doing those things and you're passionate, what God has given you to do, that man is going to be right there. You look up and he's already there. You don't even have to go look for him, because you're working. You in that vein. Why? I don't get where you think that you got to go find him. You don't have to go find him. He's supposed to find you. Isn't that what it's supposed to be?
Yes.
He will find you.
Absolutely.
If you take your foot off the accelerator, lady. Stop pumping. Pump the brakes. You know, we understand. None of us want to be alone, but just like you said, Sonja, which is true, there are so many women don't like to be alone. They don't even like to hear the silence of their own breathing. That's bad. If you don't want to be alone, that's a problem. You got to know that's a problem. You have to learn to be alone. That's the only way you're able to hear God. So if you got to have a man beside you in your bed every time just for you to live, that's bad. you're in a bad space. You need to come out of that space because it's only going to get worse. Because you're going to be picking off the tree like you pick grapes off a vine, honey. And let me tell you, them going to be some they're going to be some sour grapes, and you're going to get tired of giving up gold for not even silver, copper. What's ever less than copper, I don't know. But you gonna get tired of that. So anyway, I know they called to ask you, Sonja, but I just had to get my 2 cents in there. I got another lady, Sonja, that's asking a question of you. Why is it so hard for us? Why do we fall so? What she said? Why do we fall in love so hard? Why do women fall in love so hard? And I think what she's saying is, why do we fall so hard? I guess we're in love first.
I mean, if the question is why do we love hard, I think just naturally as women, the way we're wired, we are nurturers and we're caregivers and caretakers, and that is by design. That's not by fault. And so we tend to be emotional creatures. And we think with our hearts and not with our heads. We're not very logical a lot of times in our emotions and our feelings and how we process things and relationships. So, I think that for me, I think that would be why we end up loving so hard. We do. We're natural. And truly, honestly, human nature, we are designed to be loved. And no man exists without. I mean, from the very beginning, man was alone, so God created woman for man. So we look for that. We do. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that necessarily. Just as Myra was saying, though, when we put so much effort and everything we've got into that, we've lost focus of ourselves, and we give away that power that we talked about at the very beginning of this conversation. We give a piece of that away.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And all I'm going to say to that is that you need to check your power. Check your power back, because emotions will cause you to be on a roller coaster ride. And if you are not able to check your emotions, if you don't have a power to check it, so you got to really have a power to check your emotions and say, hey, this ain't a good deal for me. This is not a benefit for me. He looked good, he smelled good, and every woman probably want him, but you got to be able to check your emotions and say, I'm going to pass. And every invite doesn't mean you have to take it. Just because he say you look good, that don't mean you got to, you ain't got to take the invite. But I think a lot of times we bite it. We bite on that invite, man, like there is not another one coming for 50 years.
Right. And you know what's so funny? Because I used to deal a lot in emotion and make emotional decisions. And I was just sharing with someone the other day, do not make decisions in emotion. You mess up things. You can really ruin life. You can alter life's movement. You can alter your life's path by making decisions in emotion. You've got to come out of. As women, it is difficult because how we're wired, but it's so important that we sit down, let the emotion pass before we make decisions, whether it's who we're going to date, what job we're going to take, how we're going to deal with our children. Every decision in our lives, we need to remove that emotion so we can deal logically and practically. You have to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Got another question for you here, Sonja. This question is, how are you able to multitask? Work, life, business. How are you able to multitask all the things that you do and still be a good mom?
Delegate. Delegate. Listen, no one is a one-man team. I don't care whether you're at your workplace, whether you're at your home. There's always a CEO, a COO, a CFO. You've got the employees underneath. It takes a team to manage and to run, whether a corporation or your home. And your home is a corporation. It's just on the family front. So I delegate. Things that I cannot do, I give to assistants at work. As a matter of fact, I was looking for an assistant with this event planning that I've got going. Someone stepped up. Thank God they did, because I realized I can't do it alone.
Absolutely.
And even then, still, it's a lot to juggle. But prayer, get that quiet time to yourself. You gotta, find a way to decompress and put it all down for just a little bit. Put it all down, and then go back to it refreshed and keep going.
Absolutely. And what Sonja is saying is so true, ladies. I know a lot of times you think you can't afford it, and then, you can look at interns, you can look at people who want to volunteer, but we cannot go it alone. You cannot do it alone. It is too difficult. But I know, being in business, sometimes you just don't have the payroll to because you want to give people a fair price for doing the work.
Right.
But you definitely got to find somebody that sees your vision and is willing to help you. And that is so very important. And then people decide to help you no matter if it's an hour. Don't turn it down, because you do need that so that you can be that multitask woman and because you're going to be a mother or a wife or a partner or a daughter. So those aren't going to change. So you do need to
prioritizing all those roles. You have to prioritize,
Absolutely.
which role. They're all important, but there definitely are some roles that are more important than others, and not losing that.
Absolutely. And you definitely have to do that. And so that was great. Those were some that came into the chat room here, and they had some questions for you already lined up. So Sonja, this is your first event. So what are you looking to do in the future? What does it look like for you in the future as you continue putting on the events, doing the motivational speaking, touching the lives of the people in your community, bringing folks together? What do you see yourself? What's the big thing that you want to do?
Wow, I'm glad you asked that. Actually, there are some things in the works. First and foremost, living, and I mean this wholeheartedly, living my life with purpose, following God's will for my life. And I know he's called me to love his people. So however that looks, whether it's events, whether it's speaking, whether it's ministering, being a nurse, whatever that looks like, I'm open to anything. One thing in particular, the artist in L.A. that I was talking about, her name is actually Talona Chalet, and you have to look her up. Talona Young, Talona Chalet, she's on Facebook. Artwork is bomb. Been in the White House under the Obama administration. The reason why I'm spending a lot of time on her in particular is because when she told me she had MS, and then I was wondering why God gave me the Give Me Life conference and wanted the visual art. And then she came in the picture. I said, okay, God, I got it. So her and I have decided to get together and create an MS foundation. And that is coming out. We hope to. She lives in L.A. I'm here in Atlanta. We want to launch hopefully in the spring of 2018 in L.A. and Atlanta. So that's the big thing that we have going. Of course, events and different things of nature, local. But the big thing is getting involved in this multiple sclerosis research and creating this foundation. We're going to research and give back to MS community.
Absolutely. And that's a great cause, for people to get involved in and be able to give back and give to. Sometimes when you don't have some of those issues going on in your lives, you just kind of have a blind eye to it. It's not intentional. It's just that your eye is blind to it unless it actually faces you, but when you have something that you can be a part of, if you have a cause, that is always so much, it builds your character because you're fighting for people who sometimes can't fight for themselves and helping you, come to awareness of something like MS. I have a cousin that has MS too, and it's just something that came so, you just like she's up one day and the next day, she's struggling just to be able to move sometimes, but she's been able to kind of get herself together, but still there's some parts of life that has been taken away from her, and so we have to not so much always look at us where we are, but look at through somebody else's lens and develop a heart for helping. But by no means, people that have those things, you got some fighters out there. You got some strong people who are motivated to beat it and run with it, and I give them all Oh, definitely that praise for pushing through on those things. So that's amazing. You know, that's going to be something else because it affects so many more people than you actually know.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're excited about it.
And so in this, you know, you're going to have a nonprofit. You're going to have people from California, you know, motivational speakers and people from all over that's going to come in and just pour into family, actually, because it's men, women, and children. So this is a family affair.
Yes, it definitely is. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Now, what do you have, Sonja, for the children?
I'm working on some things. The children themselves, typically at these events, children don't come. People don't want to bring their children because there's so much information they want to soak up, and sometimes that's difficult when you've got, you know, little Johnny running around. I got little Johnny at my home, so I get it. I understand that. But that's a question, and I may put together something actually just for the kids. There's actually a young man who wrote a book, and I reached out to him and his mother. I would love to have him there as a vendor with his book, and he's a young guy, I think 8, 9 years old, and I did reach out to him and his to be present as a vendor there. So I got a few things up my sleeve. I got a few things
going on. Well, I'm quite sure you're gonna. You don't have just a few things going on. You got multiple things going on, which is good because people need that. Because you know, we have different appetites, and everybody don't need the same thing. You know, there's some people that need other things. Absolutely. So that's a great thing. So Sonja, let's you know, you're just across the board are doing some amazing things and some wonderful things, and I tell you. You've given us a lot. You've given us these amazing people that are coming on board as well, and we only know that it's going to be off the chain for sure. But what I want you to do now, Sonja, I want you to give out the information. We're here in Atlanta, Georgia. Give out the information of where it's going to be at and how they can connect with you and on the social media and everything. So anybody that's out there that wants to be a part of this and get what you have to give and all your amazing guests, if they can do that.
Absolutely. So the event is called the Give Me Life Conference Brunch. It's the first annual. It is going to be held Saturday, October 21st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have keynote speaker Elisa Henley from Kansas City coming in as the keynote. We have Mr. Bernard Buford from Valdosta, Georgia, as an inspirational speaker. Early bird tickets are on sale now on Eventbrite under the Give Me Life Conference. Only $15. Only $15. If you feel like you can't attend, there is a button to donate for someone else who may be able to, that you may feel benefit. After the 1st of August, the tickets will be $20. The event will be held at 1475 Highway 20 West, McDonough, Georgia, 30253. If you feel like you want to be a vendor, I still have vendor spots available, $25. All I'm asking is that you are authentic in your business. I'm not looking for a lot of direct marketing type businesses, but more holistic, hands-on, creative, giving back to the people type businesses, services. If you're a business that wants to give back, I would love to have you. And you can reach Crystal. She is handling the vendors for me, and her number is 404-621-8302. The Give Me Life Conference is also on Facebook, and you can also find me on Facebook under Sonja Robinson.
That's just amazing. Sonja, well, I tell you what, I am very excited for you and what you're doing, and excited for those that are helping you and being a part of that. And I want to thank you so very much for accepting our invitation and coming on Source Nation just to give us that information. The conversation has been amazing. I'm glad to hear when young women who are multitasking, doing some things outside of, you know, just doing nothing. You know, you're stepping up to the plate and you're adding some value to other people's lives, and that's a great place to be in. And I really thank you for being on our show tonight.
May I say one more thing?
Sure.
I I just wanted to say hello to my parents, Mr. and Mrs. Seawood, out in Kansas City, Missouri, because they said they were going to listen in. And my mom said, make sure you shout out your daddy. I said, I sure will. I love me some mom and dad, and I'm a daddy's girl to the heart. So, mom and dad, if you're listening, I love you. Here's your shout out. You guys are the best.
Well, they did very well. They should be very proud of you, for sure.
Thank
Yes, and I know
they
that they are. I know they're extremely proud of you. And I love, as you get closer, Sonja, you know, and things start moving, maybe bring a couple of your guests on that you're going to have, and let's talk more about this because it's in Atlanta. Let's try to bring some awareness to it and kind of pump it up a little bit more.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you for the platform.
Okay, you're welcome. Have a great night, Sonja. Thank you again.
You do the same thing, Myra. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Can We Talk with your host, Myra McKnight. And I tell you, you know, amazing to step out your box. Step out your box, ladies and gentlemen. Step out your box and do something amazing. There's a first time for everything. What are you doing? What are you doing? You got to do something different in order for your life to be different. You got to do something different. You know, I was in I was in a store the other day, and I was checking out. The lady was checking out. She wasn't really that nice, you know. She wasn't approachable, but she was at the jewelry counter, so they told me to go over there. So I was checking out, and it was so funny. I was telling my husband, and I bought a dress, and she took it off the hanger. And you know what? The lady asked me to take the hanger and hang it up on the other side of the store. Now, my feet, my mouth, everything was just kind of like blown away. I'm thinking, did you really just ask me after I just paid for this dress and I am the customer to take it and put it on the hanger rack? And I'm thinking, the audacity of people, where are our minds? What are we thinking? Where are we going? You got to think higher than that. We got to be higher than that. We got to grow higher than that. Are you happy where you are? Are you happy where you are? If you can't automatically say, yes, I'm happy, I don't need to go anyplace else, I don't need to do anything else, I'm happy where I am, yeah, you might not be truthful to yourself. Because am I happy where I am? No. There's a million things that I want to do. There's a lot of things that I know that I need to do in my life, and a lot of things that I want to do in my life. So you can't ever be stagnant. You can't stay in the same place because something always happens. There's something called shift. And when the shift happens, you want to make sure you're on the right side of the shift because things don't stay the same. The universe is always growing. God is always adding to, and it's always moving. Storms come, storms go, but every storm is not the same. It's either Category 4, Category 5, or it's either a thunderstorm or it's just some raindrops. It's either hot or it's either cold. There's going to always be seasons, and seasons are not always the same. So just like life, there is always a shift. You got to ask yourself, am I ready for the shift? The shift is a good thing. That means that it pushes you. It's kind of like you're sitting in this one of these little Volkswagen cars, and God is like, okay, you need to upgrade from this. You've gotten too big for this. You've gotten too large for this. I don't want you to Volkswagen. I want you somewhere else. But as you grow in knowledge, as you grow in wisdom, sometimes the space that you're in is not enough to maintain the wisdom that you have. And even through your heartaches and even through your pain and your disappointments, you are developing wisdom. And it comes to a point where you can't just sit anymore. You got to move. You got to push. I know if anybody hasn't read this book, Who Moved My Cheese? And it talks about, when the cheese moves, you got to move with the cheese. You can't sit there because one day you can be getting all the cheese and eating it and a fat rat and cat and you really got it good and you got it going on, but then you wake up and the cheese is gone. So where are you going to be? You going to sit there and cry because the cheese isn't there anymore, or are you going to get up and go find some more cheese or find where that cheese is at? You got to keep moving. You got to keep going. You got to keep believing. You got to keep trusting. So with that being said, I want to thank you again for allowing me to be in your space. This is Friday night, and you could be doing something else. But you know what? We decided to come together, bring our energies together, and the love we have for life together. And I hope you have an amazing weekend, amazing time. Kiss your family, kiss your partner, kiss your husband. Enjoy your life. And always acknowledge that there is something greater than us that binds us together, something greater than us that keeps us together, and something greater than us that will always hold true to the promises that have been made. Have a fantastic week, and I will hear you, see you, and be with you next week. Have a good one.
Get at me for beats, yo.